My bad, y'all. Welcome back in the real way. And we're going to do another installment about communication. One of the things I learned in regard to the breakdown between communication between men and women is women tend to want men to do a lot of assuming, which is crazy because when you ask a woman, what she wants out of a relationship or, what she think a healthy relationship is based on, 9 times out of 10 she's going to say communication. We need to learn how to communicate. But in my experience, and not saying I know everybody, but I observe and I'm good with patterns, and a lot of y'all have a misconstruence about what communication is. Like, you think communication is talking, and it's not. Communication is using all sorts of means and mediums in order to convey an idea. So, also, in order to receive an idea, because communication it's a transfer of current. You know what I'm saying? It's information going from one place to another. It's not just one way. There has to be a proper line of receipt. For my people that are engineers or electricians, the flow of the current is only one thing. There has to be a receiving module or some sort of conductor that receives, or some sort of I keep blanking out on the term. There's a term that I'm looking for. It's not entity. It's not artifice. Either way, it's something supposed to be on the other end that's supposed to receive the information. So, with that said, we'll all agree that 85% of communication is nonverbal. So let's look into what that 85% really can be. You know what I mean? So if we dissect that 85%, that means a portion of it is body language, right? We know that. A portion of it is the dress code as well. I would say it's probably half and half. Because if you show up for a job interview and you're dressed like a clown, before they even get to hear whatever your mouth has to say, no matter how professional you might be planning to be, your dress is already communicating something different. You understand? And that's why we have terms like dress code, Code, dress code. Code is a form of communication. It is something to be deciphered so that a message can be understood. That's what a code is. An agreed upon set of symbols or signs or terms or words. A code, dress code, or fashion statement. What are you stating with your fashion? So when people, wear certain things and then they're mad at the response that people get, or they feel puzzled or they feel offended or triggered by you get all of that. You get all of that. You get all of that. Somebody could be triggered by me wearing this white shirt. They might feel like, what you had a golf game. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the wrong place, or if I'm supposed to handle some business, or say if I was an attorney and I'm going to the court to pick up some things, they may not even let me in. You heard about the guy. I forget what the brother name is. He went to he was an attorney. He went to the courthouse to pick up some documents, and they damn near arrested him. because it's hard. They were having his dress code suggested something different, even though he had his ID and all of that stuff. Before we even get to that point, you're communicating a different message. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's not going to be positively responsive to your message, and that's on you. You can't blame the world. I was watching a TikTok the other day. This girl was complaining about how this dude, she was friends with. He basically said, he wouldn't hang with her because she had these really black contacts in her eyes. They made her eyes look, kind of like, like some scary movie type stuff. Now I think it's pretty cool, but he like, yo, man, if you're gonna be wearing shit like that, like we can't really be hanging out. And she brought it to TikTok to complain about how but he has a choice to feel however he feels about your dress code, about your fashion statement. You know what I mean? We all do. Well, if you got a bunch of piercings and shit in your face, I'm just now starting to realize I don't like that shit. Before, I didn't really mind. I don't know. I guess I didn't really pay attention to it. But I've been just looking at a bunch of women who seem to. I don't know. It's just so much. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just over. Maybe it's a lot. Maybe I'm becoming over inundated with it. But I don't know. Like even stuff like that. Like when I see you, I'll make my own judgments in my mind, and I may not be as. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I may not be too receptive to what it is you're talking about. It is what it is. Is it prejudice? Yes, I'm prejudging. Oh well. Call it what you like. Everybody's not going to be as we all make our prejudices. And it's funny because we'll say stuff like, you can't judge a book by its cover. Bullshit. Exactly how we judge books. We look at the cover. We read the back of the cover. That's how you judge a book. So, fuck out of here. You know what I mean? People need to be responsible for what they are communicating. Me and my pop used to always talk about how understanding is the burden of the speaker. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody's misunderstanding you, that means you doing something wrong. You can't blame that on the listener and say, oh, you just stupid, or you're not listening, or you're not getting it. No. If you want to convey an idea or a concept, you need to have the qualifications of conveying and expressing that concept of information to whomever. You should be able to break it down to the smallest element, to the youngest listener. And if you can't, then you are not qualified to speak on said subject, as understanding is the burden of the speaker. And that's the thing, and that goes back to, the speaker is the communicator, the wearer, the stater of the fashion, the one transmitting the code of dress. It's on you. If a motherfucker, see how you wear shit, see some shit you wear and misunderstood what the fuck you was doing, you did something wrong. They didn't do nothing wrong. You communicated something wrong. If I see you walking around with a fucking bathrobe on, I'm gonna think either you live close to here, or I'm gonna think something wrong. All depending on where we at. Again, we need to start taking, accountability for the things that we do. And that's not saying, you have to wear, certain things. No, you can wear whatever you want. But no, everybody's going to respond however they respond as well. So you bought that. Like, that's the purchase. That's the transaction. You put the product up for sale, and whoever wants to buy it or not, they respond accordingly. Yeah.